Hey, basketball fans, welcome back to Tips and Streams, your go-to spot for the hottest NBA regular season predictions. I'm Kokan, and I'm here to break down today's matchups and give you the edge you need to make the best bets. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video. Your support means the world to us. Remember, our channel has no sponsors and relies solely on the love and support of viewers like you. Even a small donation by pressing the thanks button under the video helps us keep bringing you top-notch content every day. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and fellow basketball enthusiasts. And we love hearing from you, so drop a comment below and let us know what you want to see in our forecasts. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you the content you crave. Let's jump right into today's NBA predictions. We've got some exciting games lined up, so stay tuned and let's get that winning streak going. Today we have predictions for 3 NBA games. The first prediction for today is for a game between the Miami Heat and Boston Celtics. This Celtics Heat showdown feels like a perfect storm brewing. On one side, you've got the Celtics, fresh off a tough loss to the Cavs that snapped a solid win streak. On the other, there's Miami, a scrappy squad that thrives on defense but has been hit or miss all year. This one has all the makings of a gritty battle, especially with both teams playing on the tail end of back-to-backs. Let's start with Miami. Defense has always been their bread and butter, and this season is no different. They clamp down hard, allowing the 5th fewest points in the league, and they don't hand out freebies either. Opposing teams shoot the fewest free throws per game against them, credit to the Heat for staying disciplined and playing clean. But let's be real, stopping Boston's offense is a different beast. The Celtics lead the league in threes and rank second in points per game. If Miami doesn't bring their A-game defensively, it could get ugly fast. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The Celtics are banged up. Jaylen Brown sat out Sunday with an illness, and Derek White was sidelined with a foot issue. Those are 2 key guys who do it all: score, defend, create plays. If they're not good to go tonight, Boston's depth will be tested big time. Sure, Jason Tatum can carry the load, but missing Brown and White makes things a lot tougher. Without them, Miami has a real shot to keep this one close. The Celtics are still the team to beat in the East right now, and they've won 8 of their last 10 games. They've been lighting it up offensively, averaging over 120 points a game in that stretch. But let's not ignore their struggles against the spread, especially at home as big favorites. When they're laying double digits, Boston has been hit or miss. They're just not the automatic cover team you'd expect them to be. Miami, on the other hand, has been inconsistent, but also shows up when it matters. This is the same team that tends to play down to weaker opponents, but somehow finds another gear against contenders. Remember, the Heat have some playoff beef with Boston after that Game 7 beatdown last season. You can bet that memory is still fresh for Jimmy Butler and the crew. They're not going to roll over in this one. Here's my take. If Brown and White are out, Boston isn't the same juggernaut. Miami's defense can keep them in it, and we've seen the Heat hang tough in Boston before. The Celtics might still get the win, but that 10.5-point spread feels a little too rich for my liking. I'm leaning toward Miami to cover. They've got the grit and motivation to make this a fight, and honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if this game comes down to the wire.
Welcome to BetUS, Sportsbook and Casino, your ultimate hub for secure and thrilling sports betting and casino gaming. BetUS is one of the oldest and most reliable online sportsbooks in the U.S., serving millions of clients all over the globe each month. BetUS, trusted for over 30 years, offers huge welcome bonuses, countless betting options, and many deposit and payout methods. Depositing funds is a breeze and safe, with a minimum deposit of just $10. Payouts are fast and hassle-free, beginning at only $50. Choose from various payout options like MoneyGram, couriered check, cryptocurrency, or bank wire. Signing up is quick and easy. For signing up, you can use the link in the description and enjoy a generous 125% welcome bonus of up to $3,000. By signing up using the link in the description, you'll also support us as we earn a small commission from your registration at BetUS. Thank you for supporting us. Join now and start winning.
The second prediction for today is for a game between the Brooklyn Nets and Chicago Bulls. Brooklyn is rolling into Chicago to face the Bulls, and honestly, this matchup feels like it could swing either way. The Nets have been punching above their weight all season, but they're seriously banged up right now, and that might just tilt the scales. Cam Thomas, the team's main bucket getter averaging 24.7 points a night, is still out, and that's a massive blow. Dennis Schroeder, another key piece with his steady scoring and playmaking, is also unavailable, and Dorian Finney-Smith is on the shelf as well. That's a lot of firepower missing for a squad that doesn't exactly have a deep arsenal to begin with. To make things even trickier, Cameron Johnson, one of their most reliable scoring threats, went down late in their last game against Orlando. While he's not officially out yet, you've got to wonder how effective he'll be if he suits up. If Johnson can't go, the Nets are in serious trouble offensively. And it's not just about putting points on the board. Brooklyn has been getting bullied on the glass lately, giving up 19 more rebounds than Orlando in that blowout loss. They can't afford to let Chicago dominate the boards like that, or it's going to be a long night. On the other side, the Bulls are no strangers to struggles themselves. They've been a mess defensively this season, ranking near the bottom of the league. Their last 5 games have turned into track meets, averaging a wild 257 combined points per game. Sure, they've got Nikola Vucevic and Zach LaVine putting up big numbers, but it's starting to feel like the same old story. Vuce and LaVine ball out, but there's no consistent help from the supporting cast. The defensive end is where it all unravels for Chicago. They just can't get stops when it matters, and that's why they're sitting at 8-13. Chicago does have a couple of things working in their favor here. They've had some rest, they're at home, and the Nets are coming off a back-to-back after getting smoked by Orlando. But what has Chicago done to deserve being a 6.5-point favorite? This team doesn't win, doesn't cover, and doesn't lock anybody up on defense. They're more about outscoring opponents than shutting them down, and that's always a dicey formula. Patrick Williams is already out, and Kobe White is questionable, so even their rotation isn't at full strength. Now, let's talk about the Nets for a second. Even with their injuries and a tough schedule, they've been one of the better teams against the spread this season, covering 13 out of 21 games. This group fights, and they've proven they can hang with stronger teams. They've also had the Bulls number lately, winning 4 straight head-to-head matchups, including an 8-point win just last month. Even short-handed, this Brooklyn squad has a knack for keeping games close. For this one, it's all about whether the Bulls can finally figure things out defensively, or if Brooklyn's resilience shines through. If Cameron Johnson plays and is anywhere near 100%, I like the Nets to make this competitive and possibly pull off the upset. But without him, they'll need some big contributions from other guys. On the Bulls side, they'll lean heavily on Vuce and LaVine again, but unless they start locking up on defense, it's hard to trust them. Honestly, this game screams a high-scoring shootout. Both teams play at a fast pace, and neither is exactly a defensive juggernaut. The over has been a solid bet for both teams all season, and I expect the trend to continue. When it comes down to it, I'm taking Brooklyn to cover the spread. They've shown they can keep things tight, and with Chicago's defense looking shaky, I wouldn't be surprised if the Nets steal this one outright. Just keep an eye on those final injury reports, because player availability could swing this game in a big way. Before we move on, I have a quick favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing might seem like a small action, but it actually makes a big impact for us. Plus, it's completely free for you. Have you clicked that subscribe button? Awesome, thank you so much for your support. Now let's dive back into the video. The third prediction for today is for a game between the Los Angeles Lakers and Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves and Lakers are squaring off in a matchup that has plenty of layers to unpack. These teams bring very different narratives to the table, making this clash as intriguing as it gets in the Western Conference. The Lakers are coming off a nail-biter against the Jazz, sneaking out a 105-104 victory. LeBron James put the team on his back once again with 27 points and 14 assists, even though his three-point shooting deserted him, going 0-4-9. As always, his leadership is the heart and soul of this Lakers squad. But let's be real, Father Time is undefeated, and with LeBron creeping closer to 40, you've got to wonder how much gas he has left in the tank on the second night of a back-to-back. Anthony Davis continues to be a game-changer when he's healthy, but the Lakers have been plagued by injuries and shaky contributions from their supporting cast. Dalton Knecht has had some electric moments, like that monster 22-point fourth quarter earlier this season, but consistency hasn't been his strong suit. As a team, the Lakers have been shaky in back-to-backs, covering the spread just 6 times in 18 tries since the last season. That's the kind of stat that makes you scratch your head when thinking about their chances here. On the other side, the Timberwolves are fresh off snapping a 4-game skid with a razor-thin 93-92 win over the Clippers. Even with the W, they haven't exactly inspired confidence. Anthony Edwards has been their offensive anchor, putting up 27.7 points per game, but you can see the frustration in his body language when the team fails to execute in crunch time. His improved three-point shooting has been a bright spot, but inconsistency remains the Wolves' Achilles heel. Defensively, Minnesota has been a force, locking down opponents from deep and ranking in the league's top 10 for opponent three-point percentage. but their offense hasn't kept pace, and as home favorites, they've been downright unreliable. With a 19-34 record against the spread as home favorites since last season, they're among the league's worst in that category. One thing working in Minnesota's favor? Rest. They've had a few days to regroup after their last game, while the Lakers are rolling in on tired legs. Combine that with Minnesota's stingy perimeter defense, and it could be a long night for a Lakers squad that's struggled to hit from deep recently. The battle in the paint could be pivotal. Davis and Rui Hachimura need to own the interior for LA, while the Wolves will look to Naz Reid and Jaden McDaniels to bring the physicality. Here's where I land. The Timberwolves have some advantages. Sure, home court, rest, and defensive strength, but their track record as favorites leaves a lot to be desired. Meanwhile, the Lakers, even on a back-to-back, have shown they can rise to the occasion. If LeBron and AD are dialed in, I think the Lakers can keep this one close enough to cover the 8.5-point spread. Minnesota's inconsistencies give me little reason to fully trust them, even in their own gym. My gut says LA grinds this one out and stays competitive.